Welcome back to Avenue Obscura, where we explore the unique, the strange, and the obscure. I wanted to make a quick update / news video today. We have our first casualty of the 2020 haunt season. The QueenMary'sDarkHarbor and the sister event in Florida, which is Dark Horizon, are officially now canceled. So they just put up a statement a day or two ago on their Instagram page, which was, "It is with a heavy heart that we confirm the 2020 season of the QueenMary'sDarkHarbor has officially been canceled due to the ongoing pandemic and in line with federal, state, and local guidelines. As always, maintaining the safety and security of our guests, actors, and crew is of the utmost importance. With the uncertainty that lies ahead in the coming months, this unfortunate decision could not be avoided. We look forward to the 2021 haunt season." So that brings up kind of a good point when it comes to a lot of these Halloween events potentially not doing or skipping the 2020 season. Is we're now in the very beginning of July, and for any really large event, they have to be really done with their final planning and in the beginning stages of construction. I believe the big ones like Knott's and Universal start their construction right about now in the summer, in the early summertime. So really, if they haven't put the finishing touches and made their final decisions, they would really have to begin building at this moment to really be able to fully open and be a successful event this year. Unless, of course, they scale back the size of the event, which is very possible because Knott's and Universal are both really, really huge events, but they could theoretically scale it down a little bit so that it wouldn't be so big, and maybe they could get more bang out of the limited amount of guests that they're probably going to be able to have in their parks. So as of today, the very beginning of July, we have had no official announcement from Knott's, no official announcement from Universal, although Universal Orlando has actually made an official announcement saying that as of right now, they're planning to move forward with their 2020 season. So that gives me some hope for the Hollywood version of Universal. And also our Six Flags has not made any official big announcements. The one event that has made an actual official announcement is the Los Angeles Haunted Hayride. Now, the Haunted Hayride just did an update on their page that showed they're actually accepting applications for their actors, for their scare actors. So that's good news. And the last news video we did, we talked about how the Hayride did say that they were going to, as of right now, attempt to reopen with some modifications. So I feel like the other locations, if they end up reopening or opening this year, that they will probably scale back the event, and there are probably going to be significant modifications to the way the event is held. If I had to give a prediction as of right now, very beginning of July 2020, my guess is that Knott's will probably open, but it'll probably be scaled back. They usually have about 10 mazes and a couple of other events, and my guess is they probably have about half of that. I would guess that Universal is probably going to open as well because Florida is already reopening. But the one thing that we did just find out today is that a lot of our lockdowns are actually coming back. California had been in the middle of reopening a lot of our restaurants and retail locations, but we've had a spike in cases in the last few weeks. Out today that our restaurants are going to be closed, our bars are going to be closed again. Most indoor events and retail locations are going to be closed right now. So if, these big events and attractions are seeing this news, and even though this is only supposed to be for a couple of weeks to hopefully get cases under control, it might not instill the biggest amount of confidence in them to try to reopen. So, there's always that to consider. If I had to guess, my guess is that although Six Flags website seems to still allude to their 2020 season being around, I kind of feel like they might be the one to announce next. Now, I noticed that happened with a lot of the conventions this year, because pretty much every convention got canceled this year. Now that our first big haunt has gotten canceled, the others will tend to domino if they're planning on closing. So if I had to just make a prediction right now, I'm going to say Six Flags is going to close. Knott's and Universal will still open, but probably in a limited capacity. It'll be interesting to see how the next few weeks go, and I think the next few weeks are going to be pretty telling, and we'll get a better idea of how this whole situation is going to play out. So fingers crossed that we'll at least get some Halloween events this year. Maybe some of our smaller events, which have actually really increased in quality over the last couple of years, might make up for some of the bigger events if they decide not to open. Smaller events can control crowds a lot easier. They can do timed entries, whereas the bigger events, it's going to be a lot harder to do that kind of a stuff. So my hope is that we'll at least have some small events open this year. Hopefully some of the bigger ones too. So that's really all I wanted to talk about today. Please remember to give me a follow on any of our socials. Instagram being our big one, at Avenue Obscura. But please feel free to like this video, subscribe if you enjoyed it, and leave me a comment. What do you think about the 2020 Halloween season? Do you think we're going to see a lot of cancellations? Do you think we're going to see a lot of openings? Are you really sad about Queen Mary being canceled this year? Let me know your thoughts, and we'll see you next time.